Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boy Marco's on 205 numbers after the name. A little tight Tuesday action, man. Gameplay comes down to limit to the wall to the wire, but in this case, it's not really 100% correct what we're talking about here. We're playing some Battlefield 1. Alright, so check this out, man. They had a free trial over the weekend, and I managed on the Xbox, and I managed to get some time over there to play it. And I wanted to give you guys some impressions. I probably played it like Friday, Saturday, and I probably like played it like 2 hours worth of it. Maybe a little bit more, maybe like 3 or 4 hours actually. Now I think about it. So it's early impressions, you know. It's take it with a grain of salt for what it is, and take it also for a grain of salt that I've historically never really enjoyed the Battlefield games as much as Call of Duty. So that's kind of the perspective where we're coming from over here, man. And today I want to highlight a little bit of the negatives of the experience that I had, and tomorrow's video I'm going to highlight some of the positives. I'll tell you right now, though, off the bat, man, this is probably my favorite Battlefield game that I've played, by far. Like, not even close. So I'm very happy with a lot of things that happened. There's some stuff though that I still I can't get, and you know, some of it's a little more nitty gritty, some of it's just as simple as, for example, the gunplay just felt a little bit loose, and you know, some of it's the World War I perspective on things and the World War I effects and whatnot. But overall, I've kind of always felt this historically in terms of the Battlefield series. To me, the gunplay is just a little bit loose, and I guess you could spin it whichever way you want. You could say it's more realistic. I don't really care what spin you have it. In terms of the me having fun ratio, it's on the lower end, and that's kind of what I look for in these games. Is I'm looking to get online, have some fun with my boys, what's going on over here, and the loose gunplay to me is kind of just blech. Another thing that I have, and this is something I've never quite understood, and when I was playing this game, you kind of see it, is you could pick where like you spawn, kind of. You could spawn around like your squad mates or whatnot. And I'm not sure if it happens in this video. I'll definitely point it out. But it leads to spawn trapping, and it leads to just being in bad situations. I was also very confused that this guy didn't die when I stabbed him. By the way, I was like, huh? What? Like, you're not gonna go down when I stab? I thought it was all pull one stab. Like, oh, okay, all right, bird. But the fact that you could kind of quasi-pick where you spawn and spawn around teammates, there was at least like 2 or 3 instances that I remember in, you know, the 2, 3, 4 hours time that I played, where I picked to spawn next to a squad mate, and oftentimes he was, I think, like my only option to even spawn next to, and I just got popped because the guy was amid a gunfight, and guess what? I just got dropped in there and I got popped, and I was like, huh? Now this map's also on a smaller size over here, so I kind of had a different experience than I had. Most of the maps are bigger, and I was able to use an assault rifle. This map I was using the flipping between the two, honestly, between that and a shotgun, but or in a submachine gun. But the spawning to me has never been. It's something I don't fully understand. Like for as bad as Call of Duty spawns could be sometimes, you at least they try to put you in a safe spot, and they try to keep it somewhat random and save it to the point where you come out. You know, on a map like Nuketown is something that probably doesn't happen all the time, but they try. In this game, you could kind of pick your poison as to where you want to go. And I can kind of use it in 2 ways, right? I can use it in the one where I described before, where I would get popped. But also in a lot of instances where I dropped next to a teammate, maybe the guy got popped, but I was like around the corner and I just popped the dude. And I got to put myself in that guy's perspective, and I was like, that sucks, man, because that dude was, you know, he killed the guy. I mean, imagine this. You kind of have a feel for the area, you kind of have a feel for how many players are there, how much people are there, and then all of a sudden some other guy just comes up that just happened to spawn in 5 seconds ago, which you couldn't account for in any sort of way. That to me it doesn't, competitively speaking, it doesn't jive with what I'm about, because that's the equivalent of in a Call of Duty game. You know, you're killing somebody, and then some other dude literally just spawns right there and kills you, which, once again, it could happen sometimes, rarely, but not as much, at least per capita, as I saw in this game, especially in this game where you could kind of deliberately do it. So gunplay a little bit loose. The spawn system is not something I can get down with. And then the length of matches. Now, in this case, I'm playing some TDM. That's what I was going to be showing you guys. And in TDM, I was pretty comfortable with the length. You know, it's anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes, kind of, for the huge. And that's fine. That's I think, a very good pace to play at. even though the action is a lot less. Now check this out right here. I want to give you guys an example actually of what I was talking about, the spawn thing. So if you noticed, caught one of those guys over there, and I kind of saw there was a handful there, so I was like, this might be a squad, they might still keep spawning here. And indeed they were. Now it's on them for not being able to turn, and also on me because my shot's just not that great. But it's on them for not being able to notice that I've been plucking them off and coming this way, and eventually I push up and kind of blow this. But in theory, I could just wait here and have these guys keep spawning here infinitely. If this was like a Call of Duty game, they'd flip that spawn. They'd be somewhere else. So that to me is kind of what I'm speaking of when I look at competitively. There's just too many little aspects that I could already exploit just a couple hours into the game, and kind of breaks a little bit of what I consider the competitive aspect of the game. But the main mode, at least if I understood it in Battlefield, so this is TDM, fair enough. The main mode is the Conquest mode, which is cool, right? It's where all the vehicles come in. It's just wow, like all the crazy shit happens there. I played 2 matches of Conquest, and they were each somewhere between, I think the first one was half an hour, and the second one was like 40 minutes, something like that. If you got the time to do that, good for you. That's all I thought I was playing, and I was like, if you got the time to do that, congratulations. I do not have the time to do that. There's no way that I could, any way, shape, or form, be like, all right, man, I'm going to spend like 40 minutes on this random multiplayer match where I may do well, I may not do well because of some of the stuff that I mentioned earlier and some other stuff that I won't unfortunately get into the video because I'm running now. And that to me was a problem, man. When your main game mode, now, if you're committed, if you're into that, like I went into lobbies, they were packed, you know, it was like 40 people, whatever the hell the matches were, it was a ton of people. Great for you. For me, it's not exactly how I roll. And check out here, we end this video also with a kind of a quasi spawn trap here where I kept spawning on my squad where we're all kind of pinned inside here. Now part of this is also map control, but I mean, you tell me what I'm doing when I come out over here and I'm trying to line up kind of a shot, but we're already getting clapped, but we're stuck here, we're all spawning here and I don't have any way out. So I don't know, maybe we could break the building and stuff. There's also a lot of stuff that I can't point to as a negative. It's just stuff that I didn't understand and didn't know. You know, the different classes, the medic, the assault, the suppressor, I don't even remember what the other 2 were, the engineer, I guess, something like that. I just don't fully know exactly how it works. So that's on me. That's not on the game. But it did result in a minus in terms of the enjoyment factor, and there definitely is a little more of a learning curve to a Battlefield game, this Battlefield 1, that there is to Call of Duty, even though I will say Infinite Warfare has a pretty big learning curve too, because there's a bunch of stuff there that I still don't really know what the hell it is. So it's kind of an interesting both in that regard. They both have a little bit of a learning curve. But tune in tomorrow, man. Wasteland Wednesday. I'm gonna give you guys some positive, man, because it ain't all negative with the Battlefield. I'm gonna give you guys some positives tomorrow. And I tell you what, man, like I said before, this is probably my favorite Battlefield game that I've played so far, man. Your boy Marcos, deuces.